So in this video, I wanted to take a quick look at a cool new pen from Platinum called the Little Shooting Star. And you probably haven't heard of this fountain pen before because it's only sold in China. It's made by Platinum in Japan, but it's aimed at the Chinese market. And you could find it in Europe or the US, but only if you're looking at Rakuten or AliExpress or some other places where you would import it. I think the local price in China is around $2 or $3, just like the Preppy. But if you have to buy it, if you buy it and have it shipped to Europe through one of those services, then it's probably gonna be like $8 or $9. I bought it, I wanna say from Rakuten, took a couple weeks to ship, but I really like Platinum's products, and the company's been on a little bit of an interesting streak lately with the release of the, blanking on their names, the Pre-Font and some other pens that I reviewed. So I figured I'd pick this one up. So what's the deal with the Little Shooting Star? I could tell you, just like all Platinum's pens under $10, all their fountain pens at least, they're almost all the same pen. The Preppy, the Pre-Font, the Plaisir, all of those are almost exactly the same pen, and so is the Little Shooting Star. The differences with this one is that the body is fully faceted. So basically, instead of being round, these are flat surfaces. No clip. It's a little bit annoying that there's no clip, but it won't roll because they're flat surfaces. And that's kind of it from the differences. The nib is the same nib you would expect to see on a Preppy or a Plaisir or even the Pre-Font, except it has a little star on it. And we'll see if we could get that to focus. It's not that easy with a fountain pen nib. There you go. So you can see it has a star on it and Platinum's P, but it is the Little Shooting Star. Aside from that etched star, it's the same nib that you would get on the Preppy. Sold in, I believe, extra fine, fine, medium, just like you would expect to see. So there is that faceted body. It's just, maybe not just like, but it's very similar to a Pilot Kakuno, which is their about $10 or $12 faceted entry-level pen. The Kakuno has a steel nib, just like the Metropolitan and some of the other Pilots, and it also lacks a clip. I would say the main differences between this and the Kakuno, aside from I like Platinum's nibs better, is that the Kakuno is slightly rounded on the faceting and more curvy on the cap, whereas this has a hard edge to it. It doesn't hurt or anything like that, just like it's a sharper edge to it. Opening the pen up, we can see it has a click-on cap, or snap-on cap, whatever you want to call it, and the grip section and nib are the same as on basically all of Pilot's sub $10, $15 pens. I know I keep saying this, but it's just, I think it's so interesting that this section that you hold right here, the nib and the feed, and then even the cartridge, those pieces are universal from the Preppy, the Plaisir, the Pre-Font, all of those entry-level Platinum pens. So whether you're spending $3 or $15, it's all the same. And it's no different with the Little Shooting Star. So if you like those, you'll like this one. The build quality is the same. All of it is really top-notch. I really like the plastic. It doesn't feel quite as high-end as a Lamy Vista. That's the clear Lamy Safari. That's a nicer pen with a heavier body. This one's it's nice, but there's definitely a marked difference between the plastic and the weight in the Vista versus this Little Shooting Star. This is much more akin to the Kakuno. I would say those two are roughly on par. There's a subtle difference, which is if you were to buy a Platinum Preppy Clear, all of these parts would be clear, just like it is here, but this grip section would be clear as well. For the Little Shooting Star, they used a smoke, kind of a gray, translucent piece. The Little Shooting Star comes in this, I don't know what this is. This is like I've seen this sort of protective case before. It's sort of like a soda bottle, like a not inflated soda bottle, but it's really a stiff plastic, and it really does protect pens well. A few high-end pens have shipped in these, but I've never seen someone use this for such an affordable pen. So that's very cool. I'll be saving this. There's the, I guess that's the little shooting star. Number 3 is probably the nib size. I'm not really sure. I have not taken the chance yet to figure out everything it says here. I guess this is the model number, PQ300. Like I said, fine. The extra fine's okay too, but it's harder to find, and the medium is nice. I like it, but people tend to think the platinum medium is a little bit broad, a little bit wide. And then it's sold through Platinum Pen China, you could see, not through their standard Platinum Pen Japan. And even went ahead and branded the top. Like, this is a really nice job from Platinum from such an affordable pen. The pen also comes with a little piston style converter. So it does include a single cartridge, which is great, and that's standard. But this one also includes this cheap little converter, and just like really cool to see. The capacity on this is really poor, especially compared to a cartridge where you're gonna have a really nice capacity, especially from Platinum. But really cool to see that they would include a converter with a pen like this. It uses a standard Platinum cartridge, so no different there. And I think that kind of gets all the basics out of the way. It does post quite nicely. Has a little bit of issue spinning on and off because it has that faceting. So to deal with that, I believe they put this little ring right here, and that catches on. Otherwise, it would be faceting on faceting, so flat on flat, and it'd be really hard to pull off. By doing a ring here, you have some little gaps there, so it's easier to pull off. And this piece is open, so you don't have to worry about it sealing. No problem with rolling, because it is faceting, so that's quite nice. It does kind of spin a little bit, and the clip would help with that, but not a huge deal. From a size standpoint, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.25 inches long. Basically the exact same size as the Platinum Preppy. I wish I had some more pens with me. I would show you the Preppy and the Plaisir and the Prefont and the Procyon and all the other Platinum P fountain pens that they have. I just don't have anything with me right now. So here's it next to a Sharpie, and here's it next to a Pentel sign pen. So pretty standard size and right on par with that Platinum Preppy, and really close to the Kakuno as well. I've written with this nib many times and written with many Platinum pens in this review. In this video stream, but I'll do it again. So this is the Platinum little shooting star. And this is in fine. I would say if you are buying a Platinum fountain pen and you want to get one of these cheaper ones with this steel nib, generally speaking, most people will want the fine. The extra fine is okay, but it's going to be a little dry for a lot of people. And the medium, I like it a lot, but it's going to be a little bit too wet for most people and too wet for most applications. The fine is just a really nice writer, really has no problem keeping up with me, but it remains to be really smooth and fun to use. I like the fine for kind of note-taking and day-to-day use. It is a stiff nib, so you're not going to get any real character out of it. If you put some pressure, you'll get something. But for me, it's more about reliability and ease of use. And it really does hold up well. Just a nice nib, and it makes you feel sometimes like you're writing with a nice but smooth gel pen. Just no problems doing its job. And this is on this Life paper. So nothing too fancy, but on the smooth side. So nice nib, fun to use. Does not have a lot of character. If you want to show off the color of the ink, then go ahead and get the medium, and that one writes like a broad, so you could really show off the ink. I think that does about cover it. This is the Platinum Little Shooting Star. It's a cool take on the preppy. If you're gonna buy one and you're going through the trouble and you're interested in it, I would probably say just go ahead and get a platinum pre-fount. That's like the nicer version of the preppy. It comes in some cooler colors. It has a nicer clip. Also sells for about 10 bucks, and you could buy it from a local retailer or your favorite online retailer in the US and Europe and other places. The little shooting star is a cool like collector's type item, and it would be easy to find in China, but tracking one down in the US or Europe will be kind of a pain. Then you gotta wait weeks for shipping, all for essentially just a faceted preppy. That said, I do prefer this over the Pilot Kakuno, and I do really like Platinum's affordable fountain pens, so I'm glad I picked this one up. Thanks for watching.